So my favorite and the one that I've seen that actually work amazing for the teeth is actually coconut oil, which is the simplest thing ever. But we have clients that instead of brushing with regular toothpaste, they're brushing straight up with coconut oil. And I'll tell you what, I started doing myself that with my dogs, and it's a complete different day and night. When they are due in 6 months, they barely even have anything. When we have other dogs that are like full built up using like regular whatever toothpaste they buy at the store. So it's a million times better.
Hey, everybody, and welcome. I'm Leanne Shinton from Automation Dogs. Welcome to my podcast, where I commonly interview people that are speaking to dog trainers. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing someone that I think will speak well to folks that have a pet or us dog trainers who have a personal dog. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to probably say your name wrong, but I love saying it. It's now I'm laughing. But sorry, Raysa, which is a
There you
beautiful
go.
name. I got the rolling R's that I learned in my French Canadian training.
Mhm.
And Raysa is from Healthy Smiles, Pet Dental. And what part of the world are you in?
So I am in Florida, United States. We actually have 4 locations here, but we do have a location in Texas, in Houston.
Okay, cool. And what part of Florida are you in?
Um, I'm, I am right now in Dania, which is like 20 minutes from Miami and 20 minutes from Fort Lauderdale. So it's literally the city on the beach that is right in the middle of both.
Okay, cool. I love Florida. We're planning on moving there in August. So I'm really
Oh my
excited about
God.
that. Yes.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
I'll be bringing Flirty to you so you can see her healthy smile. She doesn't have a lot of
Yes.
teeth left. She is a retired working dog, so sport work.
Oh,
And so she's done a lot of like biting the bad guy stuff, and it wore her little teeth
oh,
down.
that's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about, or
That's
tell
great.
all our listeners about what you do and what Healthy Smiles does.
So here at Healthy Smiles, we do non-anesthetic dentals for cats and dogs. So it's basically the same type of dental cleaning they get when they go under general anesthesia. We just do it without. So if that way we eliminated all the risk of anesthesia, the side effects, and any issue that is caused, due to medications. So the animals are completely awake, start to finish. The process takes a little bit longer than an anesthetic dentals because we do stop, we give them breaks, we let them walk around. So it takes about 45 minutes to an hour and a half sometimes for the older pets, but that way we can make sure that we do a perfectly clean teeth inside and out. We use the same tools, it's same, hand scaling, ultrasonic scaling. We polish the teeth. We do a full dental report for them, before and after pictures also on the report. So it's everything that they're gonna get. We just have eliminated all the risk of the anesthesia.
Wow, that is excellent. I've definitely had a couple issues where I've had dogs that were put under for surgeries and they had seizures. Um, and then I think certain breeds might be a little bit more prone to certain side
Yes,
effects from certain anesthesias too. Maybe whippets might be one, which I've
yes.
heard.
And also like brachycephalic dogs, so basically
Mm.
dogs that have no face, like the Frenchies that are super popular, the pugs, the Shih Tzus, all those dogs with no face, they are
Oh,
also
yeah.
higher risk for intubation purposes. So here by the way, we do Frenchies almost every day.
I bet. They're very popular.
Yeah, they
Yes.
are so popular.
Now, is Healthy Smiles, all these locations in Florida and one in Texas, is this your business?
Yes, we are not a franchise. Some people think we are, but we are not yet, at least. So they're all under the same umbrella, same company, and actually, you will probably find me at all 5 locations too.
Yep. The life of an entrepreneur. So how did you
It's
get
wonderful.
yeah. And actually before I go into asking kind of how you know developed this and created this big business with like it sounds like 5 locations, amazing, congratulations by the way. But I like to start with some icebreaker questions. um, my first is, if Jurassic Park were a real park, like there were actual dinosaurs that we could go see, would you go?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely, actually.
That's what I said
I don't
too.
even have
It's
to think that.
yeah, yeah. Bring it on. I want to
Yeah,
be able
I
to
am.
yeah,
I'm
you
obsessed with Jurassic Park. Obsessed. So for me, it's like yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I'm the same. It's funny when people say no because I'm like, why wouldn't you want to check that out? I definitely sign me up for clicker training a velociraptor. No problem.
Cake. Piece of cake.
Yeah. Now, uh, healthy smiles, actually cleaning the teeth, though, that might be a no.
Mm, I think they're gonna require sedation for those. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I guess before we go into all the amazing details of your business and what you've created here, but like, what do you do with a dog that has a bite history or is just really uncomfortable with being handled? Do you recommend they have to go for a dental at a clinic that does anesthesia?
So sometimes we do. We take every case is different. So and every dog is different. If we're talking about a little nippy Chihuahua, we can still work around that dog. If we're talking about an aggressive Husky, most likely that dog is gonna have to go under anesthesia. We've been doing this for 16 years, and in 16 years we've never really had a casualty, and nobody has been gone to the hospital. Part of it is
Knock on
understanding
wood.
animal behavior so well.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, uh, how did you get started in this? Are you a veterinarian?
Yes. So I'm a vet, and I came to the States in many years ago. You don't have to do the math there, but it was 2005. And then I work only dentistry. Since the moment I got here, I work for 6 years straight, just dental clinics with anesthesia. But being in the behind the scenes in an animal hospital, you get to see really what happens behind the scenes in some of the cases in how we ended up like losing patients that were just there for a dental cleaning because of the side effects of the anesthesia. So it came to the point that it's like, well, this isn't wasn't worth it. Especially when you look at a healthy dog, and just the idea of that terrible thing happening when it's just a routine dental cleaning. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean, come on. So I started doing dentals just without anesthesia and see if the dogs stay. And if they let me actually get my hands in there and put tools in their mouth, to realize that they do stay and they do pretty good. They do not fuss. They do really, really good. For the little dogs, we swaddle them like babies. Everything is done on the floor level, so it's not like there's no table or nothing like that that they can fall from. So we're laying on our orthopedic mat with the dogs, and they do really good. The little dogs on the swaddle, it's perfect. For the large dogs, we do them exactly how they wanna be done, basically. So like a German Shepherd or a Husky, we're not gonna swaddle that. But we do them exactly how they want to. So some dogs I do them standing up, and some dogs I do them sitting down. So you kind of work around the behavior. So I love that this podcast has a clear connection with trainers, because trainers,
Mm.
it's something that they would totally understand this part of, like, you have to work around their behavior. Every dog is different. So and that's it's crazy because some of our techs, their background is actually more in training, and those are very, very successful when they transition into this.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think it would be. Yeah, that's very cool because a lot of trainers, they're running their own business and they get burned out, and this
Hmm.
might be another field that they, could work in. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool that you've built 4 locations in Florida and now 1 in Texas.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes.
how did did you plan on that, or how did that happen?
Not at all. Not at all. At the beginning, we were just mobile. So I partnered up with animal hospitals and grooming facilities and pet boarding locations, and maybe even some trainers. And we went there and we did just group of dogs for them. And that way we also start getting, recognition and just proving a concept that this is possible, and the animals do stay and they do pretty good. So then COVID hit, and I feel this is like a story for every business out there. It's like the before and after of COVID. But when COVID hit in 2020, we were kind of like a standstill because most of the house calls we were doing, the people didn't want us there. And then the partner locations we were doing, well, they don't really want us there. So it's like, oh, this is crazy. so, so during that time, decided to like, I think this is the time that we should just do our own. And when the world comes back online, then we should just have our own location. So we did the first one, a plantation, and that was, I think that lease was closed at the end of 2020. And then after that, that one was very, very successful very soon. So so it really like pumped us all to like make sure that we did more. So then we did Fort Lauderdale and the one in Houston, and then Miami, and then the newest baby is Boca. Um, that is doing really good, but it's only been there for a few months, but it's doing really good. So the idea is to make sure that, I mean, if we can be everywhere, we'll be everywhere, really.
And so I would think you'd be hiring people and looking for people as you're growing. What kind of
Always.
Yeah, so trainers, anybody that can read animals, and a lot of times it's just,
Right.
you know, I feel like it's natural, but when you go to get a dog out of the crate, which I'm sure
Mhm.
you might have dogs drop off in the morning and you use a
Yeah.
kennel type environment, and just getting the dog out of the crate and being careful there. That's something as trainers, it's natural. Sometimes we have to learn it. Sometimes the dogs teach us, but there's just so many
Hmm.
areas where things can go wrong. So definitely having
Right.
team members that understand a little bit about behavior, I'm sure helps a lot, especially when you got your face and your hands right around their mouth.
Yes, 100%. And it's a funny thing because like at the beginning of Healthy Smiles, we were only hiring like vet techs. And it was
Mhm.
just like vet techs, you needed to have a hospital background, you needed to be certain amount of years doing anesthetic dentals. And then we came to realize that it wasn't about that. It was really about the attitude and the personality of the person. And believe it or not, like we found that a lot of trainers, even groomers, ended up being better than the vet techs. And that has a lot to do, with their own personalities and how they like the dogs are awake. So I think vet techs came in not understanding that, hey, now is where
Oh.
things change. Like now the dogs are fully awake, they're not sleeping, and you're used to them sleeping, while the groomers and the trainers have patience because they are used to dealing with the animals awake. So it's like it was like a full revelation. I'm so glad that we opened it up and gave a few people a try to realize, like, oh my god, there is something here.
Yeah, very, very cool. Um, Amazing too that you've opened up five locations. That is just so exciting. And maybe share your website so people can learn more about where to find you.
Yes, so our website is Healthy Smiles altogether .pet, and that is PET, like a dog. So they can find all the locations there, and also a lot more information about when to know that your pet needs a dental cleaning. We have a fantastic blog there, and there's a lot of really really good articles that they can find, also like home remedies, things they can do at home. There's so much now. I feel now it's a really good time for being a pet parent. There's a lot of information out there. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. um but there's also like a lot of home remedies and things that you can do at home. Not everything has to be like, what it used to be.
Could you share a few home remedies so maybe people could be a little more proactive with their pets now and get some takeaways that they could help their teeth?
So my favorite, and the one that I've seen that actually work amazing for the teeth, is actually coconut oil, which is the simplest
Oh,
thing ever. But we have clients that instead of brushing with regular toothpaste, they're brushing straight up with coconut oil. And I'll tell you what, I started doing myself that with my dogs, and it's a complete different day and night. When they are due in 6 months, they barely even have anything. When we have other dogs that are like full built up using like regular whatever toothpaste they buy at the store. So it's a
wow.
million times better. Coconut oil is a natural anti-inflammatory, natural antibacterial, natural antifungal. It really works for a lot of things. So that's an easy, super easy thing they can do. We even had a client that put a tiny bit of baking soda on the coconut oil, and she's just brushing with that. But I gotta tell you, this dog's teeth are brand new and the dog is 14.
Wow. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
one whippet who just had a dirty mouth, and we had to really stay on it. And just regular
Mm.
brushing did make a world of difference. Now,
Yeah.
it may seem like a small thing, but the finger toothbrushes or a real like toothbrush.
It depends. Personally, I like the real toothbrush more. I feel that you have a lot more reach. Like you can go all the way to the back.
Mhm.
Imagine that the dog's mouth composition goes all the way up here. So with the regular brush, you can easily just get in there. With the finger brush, well, you are putting your hand in there. So
Yeah, it hurts a
so
little
there's
bit.
the it hurts a little bit. We've gotten people that are like, yeah, then he bit me. It's like, maybe not your finger. But the finger brush, we have some clients that absolutely love it, and that's the only thing they use. They whatever you're gonna use, like if you're gonna go down the route of using a regular toothbrush, just make sure that the bristles are soft. A lot of animals have gum sensitivity, so if it's a super rough toothbrush, sometimes they bleed a little, and then
Mm.
that discourage people of continuing.
Any other home remedies, like something they should be chewing on or not chewing on?
Oh, the easiest one of chewing, and this one is something that a lot of people have already at home, is raw carrots. So those baby carrots are amazing. They're amazing. They are super natural. They clean up the teeth. They're high in vitamins. So like, why not?
Hmm.
But I'll tell you, if you can get your dog to actually like those, you will see a difference for sure. So instead of like giving them, greenies, this is
Oh, yeah.
this is actually a lot healthier, a lot better,
Yeah, and more affordable probably too, so that's cool.
and
That's
more affordable, and more affordable.
yeah. Um, any chewies that we should stay away from that you see maybe more like broken teeth or just don't do that?
Yeah, we're having a lot of issues right now with everything that's out in the market when it comes to dentistry in general. One of them is the yak chews, so that
Mm,
big block of like the
cheese
Himalayan yak
stuff.
chews. Yes. So it's just too hard for the little breeds. So we've seen a lot of fractures in the teeth. Also the antlers. That's another thing that is just too hard for the little dogs. Sometimes it's too hard even for the big dogs. Like we just had a dog that we couldn't do because he has a fresh fracture and the tooth is bleeding, and it was actually antlers. So, and anything like that, obviously, stay away from any chicken bones or anything that breaks.
Mm.
That's also super unhealthy. But when it comes to fractures and broken teeth, we're seeing this more and more and more than years prior. It's funny because I just
Hmm.
came back from Global Pet Expo not long ago. And in the Pet Expo, I got to talk to the people from the yak chews and the antlers, and nowhere in the bag, nowhere it says like, by the way, this may actually break your dog's teeth, like, or like, be
Yeah.
very vigilant of it, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so I think they should add something to the bag to make it clear that yes, this can happen, and yes, this is not suitable for little dogs.
Okay. Yeah. Like a disclaimer to help people make good choices for
I
what.
mean, so something. It's devastating when we have to tell them like, hey, like, this is happening with your dog, and this is the reason why he stopped eating, or whatever happened, what happened. And it's usually one of those two. It's usually, oh, I gave him something I just bought, like, oh God,
Yeah.
and you can see it, like, it's hurt, it's bleeding, it's more of a medical emergency at that point, and that needs to be done under anesthesia, because
Hmm.
most likely the tooth will need to be extracted.
Okay. Yeah, stuff to think about. I definitely am going to start brushing Flirty's teeth. She's probably not going to be happy about the baby carrots. I can tell you that right now, but I might have to dip them in peanut butter for her.
What? Oh,
She's
there you
pretty
go.
spoiled.
Oh, there you go. For real.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now,
You give her the good life.
oh yeah, yeah, she's my perfect angel. So, yes. Um, i- is there anything else that you wanted to share as far as, at-home remedies or bones that they should chew or shouldn't chew? Anything else that we need to dive into there?
No, in general, like, I always tell people like, hey, like, when you go to the store, like, put your whole nail into it. If your nail doesn't even go through it, don't give it to your dog. It's just too hard.
Ah,
If the tree doesn't bend at all, it's just too hard. Like, get them things that are more bendable. There are some good options in the market. Groovies is one of the treats that we like. They also have grooves, so as the dog chews, it kind of like cleans the teeth. Um, Greenies it's probably the most popular one, just because it has probably the most budget when it,
yeah,
um, but it's even though it's the most popular one, we really haven't seen any big improvement with Greenies. But we have a lot of people that are using them, and a lot of people swear by them. We just really haven't seen great improvement, but there are a lot of like good treats in the market they can try. Stay away from things that you cannot understand or you cannot read. Like, I just
mm,
saw a toothpaste that I couldn't understand any of the ingredients. So like, like, that's crazy. Like, there was no
yeah,
one ingredient that actually makes sense. So just like, always, like, even though if it is for your pets, always read the labels and make sure that it's things that you can understand. If you're not gonna be comfortable using it on yourself, don't do it.
agreed. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. Now, you are in a very unique field that some folks may not have even heard of, but I did want to kind of ask this question just in case there's something we might, learn today about this field. So, what is something that most people don't know about your field?
Let's see, something that they do not know. Um, maybe the most shocking thing to our clients is the fact that we do cats, and that we do a lot
Yeah.
of cats. So it's a constant, like, almost like convincing the pet parents of cats, like, yeah, for sure, bring them in. Let's see. Because it's a constant, like, no, I don't think you can do it. No, there's no way. But believe it or not, cats are sometimes even better than dogs. They they are like, they have less teeth. Let's start with that. So a cat
Okay.
have only 30 teeth and the dog has 42. So we're starting already with less teeth. The teeth are a lot smaller. And then remember when I said that the dog's teeth go all the way up to here? Well, the cats go all the way up to here. So like,
Oh,
you you don't have to push that lip that far to actually find the teeth, which makes the dentals a lot easier, a lot faster. And most of the cats are almost like in shock.
I
So when
bet.
we're doing the dental cleaning, we do swaddle them. But I gotta tell you, I don't know if it's like swaddle effect, just a shock effect of what are you doing, but they do stay and they stay pretty good. So I would encourage people that, hey, like if you have a cat, let us try it. Like you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Rarely we decline cats, and I think very, very rarely we decline even because of behavior.
Okay,
So in
interesting.
general, cats are better.
Yeah, and I've heard that if you get bit by a cat, it can be a bit more worrisome sometimes than being bit by a dog, bacteria-wise, maybe. Is that
Yes.
something you worry about?
Yeah. Not at all, not at all. Like I said, like we haven't really experienced that, and we're really good about telling like, oh, let's not mess with that cat.
Yeah.
Um, but the but in general, the cats that we do, it's crazy because a lot of the cats are really just noise. So
Yeah.
they start with the hissing and all that, but they never really go full to like attack mode. So yeah, I think if you put it like a cat next to a chihuahua, the chihuahua most likely will go to attack mode than the cat. So
That is
you're
funny.
safer with the cat. So
Yes, that's funny.
so
Um,
yeah, no.
Now, already what you do, respect for running your own business, growing it, right in the middle of COVID, growing it, outstanding. What is a
Thank you.
goal that you are quietly working towards?
Well, I would love this year to put two more locations. One of them is more like northern Florida. And deep inside, between you and I would love to go to New York. So
Okay.
that's really where my heart is at. Also, like I feel New York has so much concentration of pets,
Mm,
and larger, even larger veterinary facilities, and it's crazy because they're like a block away from each other. So that really speaks of the volume of how many pets do you have just in that teeny tiny little space. But I think it would be amazing. We do get a lot of New Yorkers here, a lot. Also a lot of
yeah,
people just
Florida.
move to Florida. Yeah, so we get a lot of New Yorkers, and it's probably a daily thing, especially in our Miami location of like, oh, when are you guys going there? When are you going there? So it's like, no, let me survive this five. So,
Well, I
and
like
that
that your
that
answer too. You're focused on what is already working, and you're focused on staying on that path, staying focused and not being like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this. And sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're like running in 50 different directions because we're very creative. But I love that you're very focused on just growing what's already working. And that's really smart to get into a
yeah.
concentrated area where there might be a lot more animals that you can help.
Yeah, it's really a struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Just like you say, like I feel entrepreneurs in general, we do have like shiny ball syndrome, and like it's a
Mhm.
constant like, oh my God, we can't. No, 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 that's crazy, but we can do this. No, 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 it's gonna take too much time, and that's gonna be very expensive. But like it's a constant like having to reel back and like, hey, go back to basics. It works, it's fine, we already proved concept. In general we do around 1,000 dogs a month, amongst
Wow.
all of our locations. So it's like I think the concept has been proven. We do really good, so like almost like if it ain't broken. But I agree with you, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Like maybe in a month if you ask me, I'll be like, I want to do this.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me to my next question because I do like to ask some fun questions on my podcast. If you could press a button and just become world class at one thing overnight, what would that be?
Probably exactly what I'm doing. I would love to be the best at doing
Mm,
non-anesthetic dental cleanings for cats and dogs. Yeah, I
okay.
I personally I love what we do. Love it, love it. I would do it every single day. The challenges with with managing a business is not really the process. Like it's the service is amazing. It's so happy to see the pets come in happy and leave happy. It's just managing the business. That's what the struggles are.
Yes, and that is what I do is I help dog trainers with the business side of things because
Mm.
I'm a dog trainer too, and we train dogs and dogs are cool and I want to be over here working the dog, but then you have to work your business too. So yeah, it's a
Yes.
thing. Yeah, it's a big thing. So
Yeah, definitely.
okay, so I'm gonna force you to answer the question of like, what would you do if you weren't doing this? I'm gonna ask if you had to start over, had to in a completely different career tomorrow, what would you pick?
Um, I think I would definitely be in healthcare. Um, Maybe
Mm,
working in a hospital. Um, I I love ER. I'm obsessed with ER shows. I watch them all. I just finished The Pit. Um, and I always think that, man, I would have been really good at that. So, so it's probably the one thing I would like to do. Maybe just a ER doctor.
wow, wow, yeah, I mean, you went into veterinary school. Hey, if I wasn't
Yes.
doing this, I would be helping people. Are you from like a family that of healers and doctors and people that want to help?
Yeah, so my dad is an ophthalmologist, and my mother is not. She's an accountant. But
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's very interesting, especially about your family too. Thank you for sharing that. Um, and
yes.
then are you able to share any stories that you have of your clients and their cats or dogs where you've, you know, taken them from like, ooh, super nasty teeth to really nice and clean teeth without having
Mhm.
to, go be put under?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do. First of all, every case is different. So in general, we try to stay between the grades of periodontal disease 1 and 2. That is like the minor grades. The level threes are the ones that we do based also on the history of the pet. So we have some 18-year-old dogs, 17-year-old dogs that come to us.
Mm,
Those dogs, they don't have any other option. So this is their option to get their teeth clean. And believe it or not, we've been able to get some of those dogs to, like, even at 18, the teeth still look pretty good. With any type of dental routine, whether it's anesthetic, non-anesthetic, home care, whatever, consistency is the key. If you do not stay on top of it, forget it. Like, so
yeah.
that you have to do the dental cleanings. You have to brush at home if you can. There are water additives now, so there are some easier products that people don't even have to get in there that will help. So those are something also to consider in general, that what we do is not magic. We can clean up the teeth today, but it really is up to the pet parent to take on now the work that we did and just like homework at home. Um, as for stories of dogs that we've done and cats that we've done, I mean, we we have so many stories, but it's always nice to see them, through the years, and see how they, develop, and how the mouths have developed. We have dogs that this is the only process that they ever got, and today they are 15, 16-year-old, and the teeth still look brand new. So it's something, it really gives us that good feel of validation that what we're doing is important. It does make a difference. It's not only cosmetics. So there's definitely like something there. Um, in general, probably the most shocking case I've ever did was a dog that came to us. And it came to us with the issue that the dog has stopped eating like a few
Mm,
days before. But this lady went already to like 4 vets. So after, and they all told her like the teeth are really bad, needs a dental cleaning. So she ended up with us. But the moment I started the dental, I was like, well, the teeth are not that bad to cause this dog to stop eating. But then just checking the mouth even more, this dog had a huge mass in the mouth. huge,
Wow.
huge. I have pictures. I'll send it to you. So it's huge, huge mass. So it's just like, and it was one of those things that you could see that this didn't look pretty. It was pretty bad. So at that time we were able to tell her, hey, we found out what's going on with your dog. This is what's going on. So we refer her to another vet. The dog ended up obviously having cancer. It was a form of melanoma in the mouth. But he got surgery. He got surgery, and we actually got to see her after, and she literally stopped by just to say thank you. You guys saved my dog's life,
Wow.
because nobody could figure out what it was, and it's almost like, how could they not? Like
Yeah.
it was a pretty sizable, mass. Being in this industry for so long, I think that, you just go through the motions sometimes and just like check the teeth real quick and move on. When there's a lot
Hmm.
more that can happen to the mouth. So that was a really feel good moment for all of us,
Yeah.
that this dog ended up living a really good life because we caught it on time. He actually got the surgery, and it was good.
Yeah. Wow. I got tingles. That was such a good story. And I would think that
I know.
as the dogs come back and the cats come back to you, they would be more comfortable with having this. And I know for my precious angel Flirty, we have the grooming tub and put her in it. And at first, it's like you're fighting her, and she's like, "Get me out of here!" And she's like, "I'm being good, but I don't want to be here." And now she just sits there, and she's like, "Yeah." A little to the right, put some more soap over here. Like she's actually really enjoying her bath. So I could see if I were bringing her to something like this, that she would be like, okay, after a few times.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like the first time clients are the ones that we know, like, oh, let's see how he does.
Hmm.
But we have clients that come religiously every 6 months. So when they come back, most of those dogs are totally fine. They already know what's happening. They already know, like, hey, this is not gonna hurt. It's fine. You'll be fine. So that's also one of the reasons why we created our membership program. And in the membership program, you pay a low rate, for the dental cleaning, lower than the retail price. And then we split up the payments. So you pay monthly, and then you come back in 6 months. You don't pay anything when you come back. Um, so that way we made it super easy for people to, like, hey, if it was ever about affordability, then let's put that aside. A regular anesthetic dental, at least here in Florida, costs anywhere between $1,000 to $1,200. Our dentals are 209, and then if you do sign up for the membership and you have a small dog, that drops to 165. So, and then we made it even
Wow.
easier. We'll split up the payments in $27 a month. And then just come in 6 months. You already pay your 165. You're good. And that is like, really can't make it any easier than that. So that, and we have over 1,000 members. So you gotta believe that it's a good time to be a pet parent. It's a good time to be a pet. There's a lot of, like, options for care.
Yeah, and I like that you're using memberships. A lot of my clients, they use our system so they can build out like a membership option for their clients, because in dog training, it's usually not like a 2 week board and train and we've just fixed everything. It's an ongoing support. And just like kids going in school, like it's not just one and done. So I think a membership
Right.
platform is really smart, and it's so great hearing your business having like 1,000 members, and if they're paying $30 a month, that gives you predictable, consistent revenue instead of that like up and
Right.
down. It's very smart.
Right, right. And it works, both ways. Yes, we do have consistent revenue, but we also have something that kind of like to force people come back in 6 months. Because if not, then they will come like once a year, once every 2 years, and it's like, at the end of the day, we would love to see these pets twice a year. So that way we can stay on top of it too, and prevent anything, and just keep the mouths clean. So this is a good way to achieve that. Most of our members do come. every 6 months. And once in a while we get our straggler that just like still pays for it, but it's like once a year type of client. But in general, they do come back in 6 months.
Awesome. Now, what's something that you wish that every client understood before they hire you?
Um, I wish they understand that this is gonna be very comfortable for their pets. It's not gonna be painful. I get that question asked a lot. Like, is it
Mm,
gonna be in pain? Oh my God, is this gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt. It shouldn't hurt. If we feel at one point like this animal is in pain or he's experiencing something else, so there's root exposure or things that causes pain, we're not going to proceed with that dental. Those are the dentals that we tell them like, hey, like you do want to get this done under anesthesia. It might need extraction, et cetera, et cetera. But in general, no, a dental clinic should not hurt. It should be, and it's also very like for those clients that are super nervous, for them to know that hey, you can always stay in the location and you can always even peek at your dog. Like all of our rooms have glass doors, so it's like there's really nothing. It's not like the dogs go to the back and you never see them again. They are like, if you want to stick around, if you want to see your dog, if you want to see how he's doing, you can do that. So, and if that gives you some type of like peace of mind to understand that it's not gonna be like you be completely separated from your pet and never know what happened. That's really not the case with any of our locations. Also like we don't really have cages at our location. Every single pet get their own room, so the procedure takes anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour, but during that time that's your pet in their room with their tech. And then when the next pet comes, then we switch. But in general there's not really like a cage or nothing. They're not tied up, nothing like that. So there's not a post for those people that are like, oh, I don't want him in a cage, but we don't have any cages. And they're always welcome to like take a tour of the locations and see them.
yeah, when you're saying that people are like nervous, does it hurt? It I've never been a person that gets scared at the dentist, but some people really have a problem at the dent. I don't understand why, but maybe they're worried about, their pet with you doing the dental because they're afraid of the dentist.
Yeah. I'm doing this. I've come to the realization that people are more afraid of the dentist than what you think.
Yeah.
Because it's like, cause I hear that comment a lot, like, oh my God, is it gonna hurt because he hurts me? It's like, well, it really shouldn't hurt you though.
Yeah.
like, like,
Have you seen
it doesn't hurt me. Like,
have you seen the movie Little Shop of Horrors with Steve
yes,
Martin as the dentist?
yes, hmm yeah.
Where he's like this
That's it's
maniacal, like
yeah.
narcissistic, evil dentist. Maybe that's what they're
I feel
thinking.
that I think he messed us up. I think that's what people think. So it's in this stage where people are so humanizing the pets too, it's like a constant like, because he hurts me, it
Mm,
probably is gonna hurt him. It's like no, 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 no. It shouldn't hurt you or him. So like you know,
yeah,
a dental cleaning really shouldn't hurt. There's maybe some parts of a dental cleaning are a little on the uncomfortable side, but they're not painful.
agreed.
So it's yeah. So yeah, that's another conversation. But to your point, we hear that a lot. We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
We hear a lot of that. Is it going to be comfortable? Is it going to be painful? Is it going to be okay? Like, yes, yes. But at the end, like if you actually want to triple check and quadruple check, you can actually stay. Nobody's going to kick you out. Also, like our lobbies are very comfortable. You have coffee. Like it's very nice.
Yeah. I find most dogs though, they do better once the owner goes and they're not so stressed about like, save me, mommy. Because once the owner's gone, they're like, oh, I'm friends with you now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, 1,000%. And most of the times we try to explain that to the pet parents, like, hey, he'll do better without if he doesn't see you, if he doesn't hear you, because if not, he literally spends the whole dental just trying to reach for you. Um, but a lot of people do get it, and they understand. But and then we also do the reference with the it's like a toddler. They do better with strangers.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of like that. But you do have the client that is like, no, my baby, I'm never leaving. So that's okay.
Yep, I get that. Now, just to
Yeah,
shift
I'm
a
sure.
little, yes, just to shift back to the business side of things again, you'd mentioned maybe opening in New York, opening more locations. If you were going to rebuild from scratch in a new city, what's the first thing that you would do?
Um, I think I would do definitely a market study and just see what makes where in the city makes sense. In places like New York, just the square footage of the location is gonna be very important, just because the just what they charge for a square footage, it's an arm and a leg. So like you want to make sure basically that you make it as small as possible but functional. So a few years ago when I had the opportunity to go into Miami, because Miami is very like New York, and the space that we got there is the smallest space. It's only 680 square feet. However, the space totally works, and it has the divisions that it needs to have. It has all the rooms that it needs to have. It's perfect. So that gave me hope of like, hey, this will be the concept for the big cities. It's teeny tiny like this.
Mhm.
So finding the location, it's number one. Making sure that you're in a really good area. Foot traffic is very important. Very, very, very important. Like don't even think that it's not. Like try to get yourself as out there as you can. All of our locations are either in plazas right next to Publix, or in
Mm.
Texas is right next to Kroger. But and then the one in Miami is the one that it's literally in the smack middle of the city across from the mall. So it's like there's so much going on. So that's probably number one. And then number two will be just the hiring process. When you go into a new city, you have to like make sure you have the staff to fulfill that location, and that could take a while. So I will probably start hiring even when we start doing the construction. Just start hiring and making sure that we have a good team, a strong team, reliable, because this day and age, reliability, it's kind of hard to find, which is crazy because like you know 16 years ago I wouldn't have said that, but now I feel like reliability is a thing, punctuality is a thing.
Yeah.
Just finding people that, yeah, it's hard, it's gotten really hard, and I have a lot of friends that are still in the vet world, that are doctors, and it's a thing across the industry. It's like just being reliable and having work ethic. It's incredibly hard to find now.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
we run with our automation dogs. We have a system, a platform that we give to our dog trainers to help them grow and stay organized and all of that. But then every week we meet, and it's like a sales club for dog trainers, but it's grown into hiring, recruiting. We have a fella that's going to be speaking coming up, and he's like a very high level in the Navy, and he does this amazing like emotional intelligence and psychological testing and things like that. And I'm like, everybody needs to go through that if
Nice.
you're going to be hiring, because you've got to be really careful.
Mhm. You do. You do, and never let desperation take the wheel. So like,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that at times we've all been there, by the way, and we've all hired that person that we knew it wasn't the perfect fit, but with the
Yeah.
hopes of like, oh, I can fix this. Just to realize that no, no, you cannot. Like,
Yeah.
so, so yeah, so that's like I always tell other business owner, like, don't let desperation take the wheel.
Good
Like take your
advice.
time, even when things get hard. Like you take your time, you hire that person that when you go home you feel really good about. But if you're hiring someone with the hopes of like, I'm gonna change her or I'm gonna change him, it's like, oh, it's not a good fit. It's like entering a relationship with someone that you're like, "Oh, I don't really like him that much, but I'll change him.
Yep, that's a very, very good comparison. Yes, good advice, and thank you for sharing too, because a lot of our dog trainers, they struggle with the business side of things. So that really is good advice.
I'm sure. I'm sure. It's a tough time. It's tough for also, like, I feel our business, dog training, maybe grooming, all of that sits in a place where it's really like it's almost like a luxury type of business.
Hmm.
You wanna train your dog, yes, but it's like and just like us, by the way, just like us. That's why I think,
Yes.
memberships are a good move, and just keeping people engaged, maybe creating different programs. Like maybe now you're done with this training, maybe now you move on to level 2 or level 3,
Yep.
and just keep people like engaged and keep the dogs engaged, because it's just not like we're not the vet, you guys are not the vets, so it's not like a necessity type of business. It's more like, yeah, so that's kind of like where we are. That's what we always brainstorming and thinking, like, okay, what else can we do? How can we bring in more people? What other things can we do? We do a lot of events also at our locations, and we do like pictures with Santa and Mother's Day event, but like just things to like bring them in, and remind them that, hey, we're here. you know. So that's but it's not easy though. It's not easy. Like owning a business in general is not easy, and owning a business also in that specific, it's not easy at all. I know a lot of trainers that started and some went down the road,
Hmm.
deserted and ended up doing something else.
Yep. Absolutely. Um, Now, a couple more questions because we're almost at the top of the hour. And thank you for sharing
Oh
on
yeah,
all of
guys.
this stuff.
Of course.
What's something that felt hard in your business a year ago that's easy now?
Oh my God. That makes me feel really hard. Like, um, let me think. I think in general, okay, so one of the things that we have today that we didn't have, it's a little bit more of just automatization when it comes to our software.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have like automatic, text and email, and all of that. A lot of that was manual years ago.
Yes.
So that was one of the things, one of our big wins was that we finally got our software now to connect to our Google Analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So basically we can see if our Google ads that we pay a lot of money, by the way, are working.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is it's a huge win. It's a huge win because a lot of the times, you wanna advertise and you wanna do, whether it's Meta ads and Google ads, whatever it is, but then like what happens when you don't even know or for sure if it's working?
Yes.
So that's been a really, really big win. Those things used to be very hard. Now it's kind of like easy peasy. We can actually see whether the ads are working or not. And at least that makes you feel better about the money that you're spending, especially Google, because Google is very expensive.
Yes. Yeah, great answer. And
Yeah.
that's my jam is being more efficient. And that's where I found automation as well. And just using systems to help make life easier. Um, so my
Yeah, definitely.
next question, if you had a year off with zero responsibilities, what would you do? I think you need
I
a
will
year off.
probably, I feel like I need a year off actually. um, I'll probably go to Punta Cana in Dominican Republic. So, I'm originally from the Dominican Republic, and I love it there. I miss it there.
Hmm.
It's if you haven't been, I encourage you to go because it's paradise, and
Wow.
it's a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place. So spending a year in the R, yeah, that's probably where my heart is at. Yeah, I always say that the day I retire back home.
Wow. Yeah, I don't feel the
Yeah.
same way about Canada. I like it here. I just it's like I don't know that I want to spend a year in Canada. That's where I'm from. So But yeah,
I have family in Canada.
I'm pretty excited to spend a year in Florida. I hope that it sticks. I'm a little afraid that it's going to be too hot and humid, but the beach is there and I'm
Mm.
pretty excited about Florida.
Florida's awesome. Florida's awesome. It really is like a mix of every culture you can think of. Like we are all
Yeah.
here. So I think it's a wonderful place. It really is a wonderful place. You're gonna love it here, for real.
Awesome.
Not nothing against Canada. I just feel that the winter in Canada is too long.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
want to I don't want
oh
it
my God.
not yeah,
Like,
it's like 12 months of winter. No, it's yeah, it gets cold.
It's too much. It's too much. It's a little too much. But in my traveling to Canada, I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. I've never been there with the cold though.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to go during the summer.
Yes.
Mm.
Now, one last question, and it might be a big one, but what is a small decision or something small that happened in your life that ended up changing your life?
Um, hmm. This is about the business or personal?
Um, Personal's fine too, like something that pivoted you maybe into becoming a veterinarian or into working with, non-anesthesia
Oh,
dental.
I have one. I have one. This one is actually really good. In 2020, when I wanted to like pivot to the locations, I actually met
Mm,
an investor, and he was investing at the time in mobile veterinary services, and so he fell in love with with everything, with what we were doing, the services and everything. So he's actually the investor that helped us to get to where we are today. I think the small decision, it looked small at the time, now it's huge. To like take the investment is something I was avoiding, by the way, for like 10 years.
yeah.
So for everybody that came and was like, I was always like, no, 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 it's fine. I feel almost blessed that I did it when I did it, because during COVID we were closed for 3 months,
Mm,
and I was able to keep the whole staff pay and everybody okay because I had already taken the investment. So had I not done that, I think we would have lost them all. So that's
mm,
it was almost like God told me take it. So um sometimes I guess opportunity come knocking, and we either notice it or we don't. In that
mhm.
specific case, after saying no for so long, I finally say yes. And he's been wonderful. He's been wonderful. So I am super grateful to everything. If we got to where we are today and talk about more locations and expansion and everything like that, is because we are well backed, for sure.
Yeah, and is it that you said no for so long because you have that entrepreneurial spirit and you're a control freak and you just are like, I got this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was like, I don't think I need the help. Oh, I'm gonna bootstrap this whole thing.
Mhm,
um it's crazy because I was very no, 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 until one day I was like, you know what, I really want to do our locations, let's do it. And like a month after that, COVID hit. So it's like, oh my
wow. Yeah.
God. Yeah,
Amazing story
yeah,
though, because
yeah.
who can plan for COVID? Like that was crazy.
Right,
So,
right.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very
But
impactful.
I like to tell people, I managed to meet a lot of people in my life that have been very no, no, no to other people investing.
Uh-huh.
And they don't wanna give away a piece of the business or even a tiny bit of equity, nothing. But it's like, hey, like, just imagine just giving away that tiny bit where you can be,
Mhm,
and the things that you can do. So I would encourage people to like, hey, sit with the deal, read it, come back, say something else, but don't say no right off the bat. Like, not every investment is bad.
mhm. Excellent. Is there anything else that you would like to
Yeah.
share today?
No, just come see us. And you, when you move, where are you moving?
We'll be there August 1st and somewhere on probably the east side of Florida, a little more north. Not sure where yet, though.
Okay, that's awesome. My God, you guys are like just packing it up and coming.
Yeah, well, I lived
I love that.
we traveled all over in our RV for 2.5 years. So yeah,
Wow.
I've lived a few different places. So Florida is hopefully the final decision, though. We'll see.
Florida is wonderful. Florida is wonderful. You guys are gonna love it here. You guys are really gonna love it here. My biggest thing to all the trainers and non-trainers that are listening is just understand that there there's a different ways to make a cake. So like
Hmm.
up until now we were just like there was only one way to train. There was only one way to do a dental cleaning. And it's like we're trying to figure out ways that, hey, training has changed a lot too from what it
Hmm.
used to be. And even like this is our Milan times, like training has changed a lot from that to what it is today. Same thing with dentistry. Like there are options for your pet. If your dog's too old, if your dog is too sick, if your dog has kidney failure or liver failure or heart murmur, hey, there's an option. We can still get the teeth clean without affecting, the issues in the organ. So that's my biggest recommendation. Just keep an open mind, and you'll see.
I like that. Yeah. And thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing. Could you share again your website in case
Mhm.
people want to check it out?
Yes, the website is healthysmiles.pet. That is PET. And then when you go in there, just go to the blog, just go everywhere, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Our website has a lot of information about what we do, and and the dentistry for cats, for dogs. So like I think it's a good and if any of the trainers that are listening want to contact us and get even more information, or maybe how do they even start, or wherever they are, or want to bring their pet, whatever, they can always contact us on the website, or they can contact me directly. My name, Raysa, at healthysmiles.pet.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Raysa.
Yeah,
I really
thank you.
appreciate your time today and dealing with all my crazy questions.
No, you're good.
Thank you, everybody, too, for listening. Again, I'm Leanne from Automation Docs, and thanks for listening.